Hi friends, my name is Brittany Tugas. I am a life coach, a dance teacher, and a choreographer, and here's a little snippet about some stuff that I have witnessed over the years with clients that I've worked with. These are two things that are keeping you stuck from and away from getting the things that you want. Number one is you're too attached to your comfort zone. People always say, get outside your comfort zone, do something new, blah, blah, blah. But I see this in a really specific way where people are kind of comfortable with being in the bad spot because it's predictable, right? So they're comfortable staying stuck. And that might sound really harsh because you're like, well, Brittany, of course I want to change. Of course I want better for myself. I want more money. I want a better job. I want better relationships. I want to go to a good school, whatever it is. And that may be true, but our brains are wired to keep us safe. And many times we don't view change as safe. And so in our heads, no matter how hard we try, we find a way to self-sabotage and stay in the same spot because it's comfortable. It's easier to stick with the friendships and relationships that are familiar, even if they suck, because you know what to expect and you know how to react to them. It's easier to stay stuck with just making a certain amount of money because then you have an excuse for not going and achieving different things. So people tend to stay in their comfort of it not being great because it feels easy to them and it feels like they can keep going with that. And so part of the way out of that is having to truly face your demons with yourself, like look inside and be like, what in me is okay with staying in this spot, and like actually look at it. Part of the reason that people struggle to change so much is they are not willing to look at the bad parts of themselves or the parts that are necessary to look at in order to change. You have to accept the place that you're at and really look at it for its raw truth. And then from there, you can pull back the layers and say, okay, how do we change this bit by bit? So that's number one. And number two is an attachment to a specific outcome. So if you're someone that wants to be healthier and work out more and go to the gym, but you're attached to only this one way of it happening, I have to go to the gym for this many minutes at this specific time of day and this many times a week, and it has to be these specific exercises. And then all of a sudden you go to the gym and someone's on the machine that you were planning to use first, and you're like, oh, well, I obviously can't do it now, my routine is off. Or you go to the grocery store expecting to get a certain set of foods for a recipe and something's missing, and you're like, well, I won't make that now, I'm just gonna go to McDonald's. And that sounds really extreme, but this is how our brains work a lot of times, is we put ourselves in positions for us to have an excuse not to do the thing. So we attach ourselves so aggressively to this specific outcome and the way that it's supposed to look. And then when it doesn't happen that way, we let that be the excuse of why we can't continue going after that or fighting for it. So a way out of that is literally just with small changes. It's just, you have to be willing to fight yourself on those things. If there's a missing ingredient, what can you replace it with, or how can you work with just the things that is available? If it's the gym example, just pick a new machine. And honestly, this comes down to, do you actually want it to be better or not? Or do you just want to say that you want it to be better? And this is some tough love, but this is the kind of stuff that happens with my clients as we sit here and actually dig deep. This is a non-judgmental zone. This is I'm not trying to put anyone down. It's just, this is the stuff I had to do for a transformation in my life to get rid of so much of the depression, the anxiety, the perfectionism in my own life. I had to dig deep and look at the things that I wasn't necessarily proud of and be willing to see them differently and change. So number one was attachment to your comfort zone, and number two was attachment to a specific outcome. So I hope these awakened something in you, either told you, you need to look at something more, or inspired you in some way, or maybe you're like, hey, I need help with this and you want to work on this. And if that's the case, I am open. You can DM me on any of the social medias. I am at Brittany N. Tugis. That will be somewhere here. And or you can email me at brittanyntugis@gmail.com. And you can also subscribe to my weekly newsletter, and always look for tips and things going out, because I'm constantly trying to inspire and speak to my clients. And yeah, that's that. I hope everyone has an amazing day and keep going after your dreams. Bye.